Confidence is supposed to protect you. It's supposed to make you harder to manipulate, harder to control, harder to break. And for most threats, that's true. But there's a specific type of predator who doesn't avoid confident people. They und them. Because confidence, when it crosses a certain line, becomes arrogance. And arrogance is a blind spot you don't even know you have. You stop questioning. You stop listening. You stop seeing warning signs because you're so sure you'd recognize them if they were real. And that certainty, that unshakable belief in your own judgment, is exactly what gets exploited. The most dangerous thing about confidence isn't that it makes you weak. It's that it convinces you you're invincible right up until the moment you're destroyed. Here's the psychology behind why overconfidence destroys people. Your brain has something called confirmation bias. This means you pay attention to information that supports what you already believe and ignore information that contradicts it. When you're confident in your ability to read people, to spot manipulation, to protect yourself, your brain filters reality through that belief. So when a manipulator shows up, you don't see the red flags. You see confirmations of your judgment. Meanwhile, you're being played in real time and your confidence is the reason you can't see it. A study from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people with high self-assessed competence in detecting lies actually perform worse. Why? Because the confident people stop paying attention. They trust their gut reactions without verifying them. They assume their first impression is correct and stop gathering information. This makes them easier to deceive, not harder. Scammers, manipulators, and abusers know this instinctively. They target people who are sure of themselves. Let me give you a concrete example. Someone builds a successful career. They've made good decisions, trusted the right people, avoided obvious traps. Then they meet someone charming. Every instinct says this person is legitimate. They don't do the basic verification they'd normally do. 6 months later, they realize they've been scammed. Not because they're stupid, because their confidence made them skip steps. A researcher named Maria Konnikova found that the most common trait among fraud victims wasn't gullibility, it was confidence. They thought their intelligence was automatic protection. Ite se not. Intelligence without humility is just another vulnerability. Confidence also makes you dismiss feedback. When someone warns you, your brain interprets it as jealousy, misunderstanding, or overreaction. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect in reverse. Genuinely competent people who've lost the ability to recognize their own blind. Romantic relationships destroy confident people constantly. They meet a manipulator who mirrors their confidence back at them. They ignore gut feelings because admitting they misjudged someone would damage their self-image. By the time they accept reality, they're devastated. Confidence makes you rigid. You assume what worked before will work now. But manipulators study patterns. They know what you expect. A study from Stanford found that experts are often easier to deceive than novices. Experts rely on patterns while novices question everything. Confidence also creates permission for others to exploit you. When you project certainty, people assume you can handle more responsibility. So you take on too much. You ignore burnout. You push past warning signs from your body and mind until you crash. Your social confidence makes you interpret strategic behavior as authentic interaction. By the time you realize it was tactical, it's too late. How do you maintain confidence without letting it become a weapon? First, separate confidence from certainty. Second, build in verification steps. If something's important, check it, especially if you're confident. Third, listen to outside perspectives. Other people have different filters. Combining perspectives gives you a more complete picture. Fourth, stay curious. The moment you think you've figured everything out is the moment you stop learning and become predictable. Confidence is a tool, not a shield. When it tips into arrogance, it actively makes you more vulnerable. Because the person who thinks they can't be fooled is already halfway to being destroyed. Don't wait until it's far too late.